let me give you a little Tamar. Hold on. Okay. So as you can see, we like to have fun. So we act the fool. This is how we get our good juju going. Are we live now?
Yes, you are.
Hey. Looking for Nico.
Yeah. Because he's never on time.
He's not always there when you call. Always on time.
Nah, he's never on time, but he'll come.
Well, y'all, we gonna give y'all our featured artist from last week so we can go ahead and open up the show. This is I Like You by Not Them, in case you didn't hear it on last week's show. Shake it medium slow.
Yeah.
I like you. I like you. Do you like me too?
I'm sorry, I touched that.
Do you like me too? Cause I
appreciate it.
You know, I know you can appreciate a good rub down.
Do you like me too? Girl, let's take a walk in the park and sit on a bench. Having conversations, just chilling a bit.
Okay, I let you
enjoying every moment, every chance that we get. Time be fine when the days just went. Spending hours at a time trying to make you mine. On the phone after 9, I remember those times. Up all night, wake up with you on my mind. Call you in the morning, Sunday, got butterflies. Can't wait to see your pretty faces there in the eyes. Can't wait to take another walk in the sky. Like, how we gonna get out this hood and do it bit together?
What's up, Nico? We playing our feature artist from last week.
Do you like me too? Do you like
Not
me
them.
too?
It's a group.
Cause I like you.
It's a group.
I like you.
Yeah.
I like you. Do you like me too? Do you like me too?
I ain't gonna put my hand in you now. I feel like she came in and broke it down like they give me like Kendrick album, like in a
when I'm with you, forget time when I'm with you. Close your hand into mine when I'm with you. Just you and me, the perfect chemistry. I get you, you get me too. Come on, let's make this thing official. Just me and you. If we got us, then we can't lose. I got your back, no matter what, whatever issue. I feel complete when we together when I'm with you. I'm just loving your vibe. You taking your time. What we have is divine. I'm like you.
So like at the door.
I like you.
We're just shifting your eyes.
Do you like me too?
You might tell us what we want. Wait.
Do you like me too?
I'm sorry.
Cause I like you.
Oh, I know y'all hit a breakdown. Can you check it on now? Right.
Girl, I like you.
I felt like this is what Anthony felt about me when we first started seeing each other. Like if he could sing, he probably would have did this.
What? Girl.
Welcome back to the Blueprint Radio, everybody.
Wow.
If you're just tuning in and, catching the last of the song, that was I Like You by Not Them. They were our featured artists last week. So, really, really feeling that song.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
She felt it in my spirit.
I don't like nobody, but if I did, I'm sure that's what I would be saying.
Girl,
Would you
would
play
say
that?
I like you?
Probably. I probably wouldn't say that out loud, but I would think it.
Be like, I think I like you. That would be T's version. She would just put the I think in front of there.
Because I ain't sure.
So, now this week, you all heard this song on the show before, but we definitely wanted to take the time to spotlight our girl, Alana DeVille.
Oh, my fave.
With her song Slugging, in honor of plus size girl season coming
Plush
in.
pals.
Plush pals. Because it's getting cold outside. Y'all know y'all want some plush pals in y'all life. We're hitting you all with Slugging. That is going to be our feature song for this week. But we got so much to cover.
So much.
Definitely have to give some shout outs. For one, shout out to Melanated Queen Productions. If you have not, I think right now Dr. Lauren has maybe about 12 to 13 tickets available still for the Melanated King Awards. This is an event where we are honoring Black men for their servant leadership in the communities, and you know, all the communities that they serve and everything that they do. Black men, because y'all know we don't really honor them like that. So Dr. Lauren has a hit with this. So we're going to be dropping that link for you all here very shortly, so that if you need to go ahead and purchase those tickets, reach out to her directly. She's got it. I mean, if you got Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, or Venmo, honey, she's got the tickets for you. I don't really know what the delay is, but you know our people.
They probably want to pay with link, and she can't take that. That's against the law.
Girl, why are you trying to say these people gonna pay with EVs? Wow. Goodbye. So the Blueprint Media Company does not endorse that particular statement.
I'm not endorsing it. I'm just saying sometimes people say, can I just...
But you know what? Honestly, and Lauren, if you are watching with us, again, shout out to you. I think people are honestly waiting until Friday rolls around for payday. I guarantee it's gonna sell out. When we had the Melanated Queen Awards, it sold out, but it was like an influx of everyone bought tickets, and then it was just like a few days. But then right before, they just like, can I please get a ticket? Can I get through the doors? And we like, no, ma'am, you have to be on the list. No, sir. We know that you're being honored, but your family and friends have to get a ticket. Don't be that one that comes in last minute. We're going to wrap that up. And of course, we have to give a special shout out to our attorney, Sierra Norris. The law offices of CN Norris, she's going to take care of you. If you're in a jam, you need someone that knows the law and has your back.
Absolutely.
Please reach out to Sierra Norris. As her hashtag, call Sierra.
Period.
So if you got some things going on, all you have to remember is call Sierra. That's your only thing that you need to do. If you know somebody else that's in trouble, call Sierra.
You need to pass it along, because that's Black Girl Magic in motion.
Yes. Now, our special guest tonight is Miss Erica Lamb. She is the epitome of a boss, and we get to have an exclusive interview with her tonight to talk about how she started her businesses and how she could possibly help you. Okay. Because we know they need jobs out here. They need to do better business practices. So we're going to cover all that tonight. Okay? All of that. Now, don't forget that the Blueprint Media Company is not just radio.
No.
We will pop out at your party.
We do.
We say that with the most professional undertones as possible. We have gotten a chance to cover some really, really awesome events.
Yeah, like Purple Palooza. It was amazing. Shout out to Felice. Shout out to all the artists that came out. Amyo, Pure Water, Boy Floyd, Nate Grams. Everybody definitely did their thing.
And everybody that you just named, the fact that Amyo was the only one that's been on the show.
Well, quiet as it's kept, all the rest of those guys are interested in coming on the Blueprint, because they saw the way that Nico and I do things. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to
Plus, I had that green dress on, so it was a lot of stuff happening.
I don't think that they was gonna be able to say no with that green dress. Okay, I really don't think that they was gonna be.
J-Lo dress.
J-Lo.
You know, she had the green dress. That was her thing. That was for a long time.
I need to get me a green dress too.
Yeah, get you a green dress, girl.
Well, T had an interesting topic that she wanted to discuss tonight. And I honestly think that it's something that we can all relate to. Yeah. So what's the topic?
So basically, the topic of this evening is going to be, why do we stay in relationships too long? That could be friendships. Okay. That could be your man, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I think that it's a good topic, because I mean, you know, last week we've been covering so much, and with the friendship thing, it's just, I think that as you get older, friendships get very trying. So I really like to talk about these topics, because a lot of people don't really handle their friendships in the way that they're supposed to. Yeah. Have you seen that? I know you have.
Girl, absolutely. Sometimes you outgrow people and you don't remove yourself, so you wonder why you're always so upset and you always in constant drama.
I'm like, oh my gosh, why you doing me like that?
Yeah.
Ugly face.
See, and then I use a completely different ugly face. It's like the complete opposite.
T crazy, y'all.
I'm not. I'm very calm until I'm not.
Well, we'll be jumping into that in the later part of our show. Right now, we want to play you all a little bit of our good friend Shy's Up. One of the members has his party going on next week.
Cannot wait. I'm getting a babysitter. I'm gonna miss out on sleep, but I'm going.
We're ready. No, we're ready. Okay. So right now, this is Shy's Up Above. When we come back, we have Erica Lamb with us. We're jumping right in. So make sure that you stay tuned in. Okay. Let's go.
Let's go.
This might have some cussing.
That's okay. Everybody to go.
Right. We can see it. Now I need to go in while this song is on. Hey, you look cute with your blue. I like the look you have.
Why all they songs make me want to do that same thing?
They're really, really
Everything is a different beat. It don't even matter. I'm still doing the same one.
So you know it's going down.
Oh, they don't say that's crazy. Oh, yeah, classically saying some crazy. It is wild.
Niggas tripping, Joe. If I have to grab the phone from folks, they all gonna be missing more. Never been a typical. Later rest the cynical. Couldn't let them compromise my morals nor my principles. Fuck the punk municipals, assuming we're all criminals. Protect the surface minimal. Then place us up in critical condition. Felt a mention while talking on medicinal. Living at dispensary
Things are happening, guys.
Why is it happening?
passing my clinicals. We become instantly like they say we lyrical. The role we play is up to the hype, aka pivotal. Taking on these industry types to reach that pinnacle. Can ill afford to give up a fight against these imbeciles. Try me like the rest. For this I must confess. I'll black out any minute and personify invincible. My worst is at your best. Was working while they slept. Right back down like the pivot. For pursue these niggas trippy. They can't right now. That's how you love the cloud. So you know it's going down. You know it's going down. Where we at right now. It's how you love the cloud. So you know it's going down. You know it's going down. Wild nights with tame women and plus women forever winning. So in my fix I'm forever grinning. We been the business, we in the building just like a tenant, and we never finish before you spend it, plan to replenish. Bit of advice, if you roll the dice, you might pay the price. Ain't nothing nice, ain't no thinking twice in this game of life. But throw the rice, cause she's a bitch and I love her right. And every day I sit and break for another.
Hey y'all, you know I gotta come get up in y'all face real quick.
Real and how we feel, yeah, we play the field while chasing meals to pay the bills. So can I live? We do it big and never live. 25 lighters on my dresser while I'm rolling kill. She loves the feel, I'm so real behind the wheel. She know the deal that I never simp and I never will. I'm on this mission so driven that chides up on the feet above the clouds where I'm living. You're more than welcome to visit. Shots up. So you know it's going down, down, down. You know it's going down, down, down.
I like it.
Yeah, y'all. So y'all didn't see T over here kind of shaking it in her chair.
I don't know what she's talking about, but all they songs do kind of make me want to move something around.
For real.
A little
Let me
bit,
put this back in.
a whole lot.
Well, if you're just joining in, we have Miss Erica Lamb in the studio with us today. Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Look, before we jump in, I have to tell you all how I met this amazing woman. It was at my networking brunch.
Yeah.
I had just, let me tell you how. So first off, I think I had the ticket sales had closed. And then I looked and I was like, Erica, I was trying to find, because we didn't know each other. And she came and we had a moment at the networking brunch where all of the ladies that were there, because, you know, it was open to men and women, but there was only women that came. And when she got up to talk, I was immediately like, I'm like, I gotta have her on the show. That was in May, so it's been a few months. But you told us that you've done so much. So I've been very excited to sit down with you. I'm so glad that we have you here today. How you feeling?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me.
Girl,
Glad to be here.
now you already know. Look, we've been waiting. The chat has been waiting for you. Okay. Now, like I said, I was really captivated because you do so much. You have two businesses that you are the CEO of.
Yes.
Tax Strategy.
Yes.
And Thrive Communications.
Yes.
Tell my listeners a little bit about both of those businesses and what you do.
Okay. So, Tax Strategy is my baby. So that is my passion.
Okay.
Because I'm very passionate about entrepreneurs and then learning all of the benefits that they have to them. Many folks don't start a business because they think of, oh, if I make this extra money, I'm gonna have to pay taxes on, I'm gonna have to do this. And
right.
It's a lot of things that kind of deter people from wanting to do it. And then when they do jump into it, they're like, oh, I didn't think about all of this. Maybe I just want to stop. And my focus is really in trying to encourage people to say, no, you know, I have a network of folks,
exactly,
you know, to reach out to, and you know, you can partner with people and to get things done.
Okay.
And I handle the tax side of it. If people have questions and things like that, we walk through it. I do workshops and kind of walk people through the entire process, because year after year should get better.
Exactly. Not
that's
worse.
Not worse. That is if you're willing to do the work, because a lot of people, you know, I say keep your expenses and keep track of them, and they just say, oh, I don't want to do it. Well, that's why I do bookkeeping too. So you know,
so that's another service.
That's another service I add on along with tax preparation and forming the entities. So some people, you know, have their LLC, and a lot of folks, you know, either want to do that or do an S corp, so on and so forth. So I also assist with that process. But there's multiple things that we do within Tax Strategy.
Okay.
And the main focus is being able to educate people, what's needed, what their options are, and I find that a lot of tax professionals, they just go ahead and do taxes and they're done, that one and done throughout the year.
Okay.
But I also try to find other ways to have people bring in additional income.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't think about what other jobs they can do or side hustles, turn a side hustle into a business. So if they don't already have anything, you know, I have a couple of options for them to refer them to people. So with Thrive Communications, that is my virtual call center. So I provide, well, I wouldn't say jobs because everyone's an independent contractor. You work how you want to.
Okay.
But I provide that for mostly stay-at-home moms and college students.
You know, I saw that when I was just kind of like looking into everything. So do you find that working with those groups of people, like, do you see a lot of consistency as far as with?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so for folks that generally have the 9 to 5 and then they want to do something extra, I try to see if they would focus on something they're more passionate about.
Okay.
Because sometimes with the call center, they're just like, oh, okay, you know, the set hours. It just works for a stay-at-home mom. It works, you know, you can fit it within your schedule. You just, you know, pick the hours that you're going to work for the week, stick with it, change it up if you need to.
Right.
You know, emergencies happen.
Exactly.
And that's why it's supposed to be flexible.
Right.
You know. So that's something that just works for people, and it's usually, you know, some people are retired.
Okay.
I have a lot of retirees.
I'm gonna link you with my dad. I'm pretty sure he'll appreciate that he's at home. I'm just like, I know that you probably want to go back to work, but we're gonna need you to stay home. Exactly. Okay. So what was your motivation? Because which business came first? Was it Tax Strategy?
Tax Strategy.
Okay.
Yes.
What was your motivation for going into that?
Okay, so to try and make a long story short,
you ain't gotta shorten up. It's your time, okay? You're gonna be like, this is her time.
Initially, I was introduced to a business format, travel, And, most of the time, a lot of people are introduced to like MLMs and people are always talking about, oh, tax benefits, tax benefits. Well, if somebody had actually explained what tax benefits were, I would have never stopped having a business a long time ago. Okay. So as I got into that, I was introduced to a couple of folks that had gone through and were tax specialists, and was really intrigued within my first year of starting my business and finding out everything that I was missing out on. Right. Yeah, that refund turned it around. I was like, oh, let me figure out about this tax stuff. Yeah, let me figure out about this tax stuff. So I did that. It was 2013. So yeah, it was a big game changer there. And then my thing is, if all the information that I get, I have to share it. Right. So
you were dropping gems even at the networking brunch. Like we were all everyone was just watching her, and as she was talking. And another thing that I'll bring up later was about the importance of having multiple streams of income. Especially if you are in business for yourself. I know that was something that you stressed to us that day.
Definitely. So with that, I dove more into it, and it's all about. I'm really passionate about the education piece of it. Because there's always new things, and most people don't want to learn the tax laws. I'm not trying to teach everybody all the tax laws and everything. I'm trying to teach people how they can start a business, earn more income, and have a tax savings, and increase their refund or increase their deductions over time, and provided that they follow through and do something. There's plenty of other things that you can do within your business, expanding that and learning more about some of the insurance aspect. There's a lot of different moving parts.
You say there's levels to it.
Yes. Yes, there's a lot of different moving parts. And I have partnerships with other companies to be able to provide those services and say, okay, well, now you need this, or let's scale this and do this.
So it's like a one-stop shop. Okay.
Well, I know that if I was just a listener listening to this, I'd be like, that all sounds good, but how much money I gotta put down to be able to do all of this? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to invest in yourself, of course. Like, nobody is going to work for you for free.
Exactly.
So it's important to do that. So what would you say to a person that is trying to get into this as far as what's best for them, moving forward, if they just want to get out of 9-to-5 work?
I always focus on what's your passion. Because if somebody can present anything to you and you're just like, oh, that sounds good for right now. But if it's not something you're passionate about, you're not going to stick with it. Right. And you go back and forth with, starting a business. And if you're starting it even the correct way, a lot of people have things out here that are just side hustles. Right. Instead of making it into an LLC, actually following through, pushing through. And so, if you start with something that you're passionate with, 9 out of 10, you may not stay there because you may find that there's extra things that you want to add to it that complements it. Exactly. That kind of gears you to where you want to be. But if you don't start, there's nothing that you don't have anything to push forward through. So you can start, and so therefore it's not something where you have to say, oh, how much is it going to cost? How much do you want to spend? Because now it's your choice. No one's forcing you into any one particular company. Right. Like I said, I know a lot of MLMers. And with the multi-level marketing, and
yes, that's all out.
Well, you know what?
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. And me as a tax preparer, I can confirm that they do make good money. So it's not. It just depends on what program you want to choose. I don't endorse any one particular program. You just it depends on what your level of skill is and what you want to do. If that's something you're passionate about and you want to continue with that, then you go for it. I prefer people to just start ground up and go for it, but a lot of people need structure and they want their training included and all of the stuff. That's fine.
Right, you like
my thing is for that too. My thing is that regardless of how you do it, there's money that you're putting into your business, and there's expenses. And if I could just get everybody to do what they're supposed to do, which is make sure you're keeping track of those expenses.
You probably have people bringing you in like shoe boxes of like receipts, and I was.
You can put it on paper.
That's right. I know that's right.
I don't do that. Now I will if you signed on for bookkeeping services. Then we go through everything, the credit cards, the bank statements, and all of that. Okay. So that is an option. In the beginning, it wasn't an option because I would look at that pile and say, you bring me the totals,
and then we'll
you
talk from there.
confirm that this is correct, and we'll go from there.
I know that's right.
Because it has to be structured. I mean, no one wants to deal with something. It's like if you don't even care enough for your business to at least keep things, organized where you can present it to someone if they're trying to help you. I mean, we know that it's difficult when you start a business, but I mean, you have to come with something.
Something. Yeah. Yes. And so a lot of times, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
A lot of times I have to kind of run down what would be considered expenses. You're like, oh, well, I didn't really spend too much this year or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, are you home-based? Are you a home-based business or do you have an office? Because either way, you have expenses.
Exactly.
So for even office space or for at home, your internet, in some instances, your cable, your lights, gas, it's a percentage of that you're using for your office space.
Okay.
That is deductible now times 12 because it's 12 months in a year.
Yeah.
So now you're thinking, oh, well, it was just a bill. No,
it was just $15. And you're just like, times 12. Okay.
Right.
So you have to, take those things into consideration, and things like office expenses. You have Microsoft subscription, or your training, Audible, or whatever books it is that you have. All of that adds up. Man. Your Amazon.
I think y'all better hit her up when it comes to taxes, because I think you have to have a professional that knows all of those things. Because I'll be honest, when I met you, of course, I had already filed by that time, because this was May that we were looking at. And my usual guy, I had been going to him for years. He passed away. So I ended up having to go to his son. And it was like, I really liked the guy that I had before, because it was like he explained things and he was thorough. Now, of course, this is before I met you. I'm going to Erica next year. Okay, I'm going to be making my appointment as soon as my W-2s hit. But he didn't really go through those things with me. And and after, when I was listening to you that day at the networking brunch, I said, I probably missed out on so many things that could have been deductions. It would have helped me, because it was like he was saying, oh, you ended up on, and that actually was not even the case. I'm like, I had gotten married. There was a lot of transitions that happened. So he's just, he was saying all these things. I was like, you're confusing me. I'm like, your father used to explain these things to me. I'm confused. I walked out of the office with my little packet like, I'm not really sure about my experience, so you do have to have someone that cares enough to really comb through a lot of that stuff with you.
Definitely.
And what I wanted to know, since you have, both of the businesses, has there been a company, and I know we're not going to name them for privacy reasons, but has there been a success story that you can share with us where, either with Tax Strategy or Thrive Communications, like what was your most memorable?
The most memorable I would have, so I just have to say this. I hate seeing people owe money. That it's just...
It grinds your gears.
Yes. And for someone, when you tell them over and over again, okay, let's try, what are you doing?
Right.
You have an extra side gig. Okay, what are the expenses? Like, you need to keep better track of expenses. Okay, year after year it comes back.
They still owe. And you just
okay,
like,
where are the expenses? But last year, or this tax season, they didn't listen to me, actually.
They didn't.
They didn't.
Did they go to somebody?
So instead, no.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm like.
So instead of, get your expenses and everything and make sure you're keeping track of it,
right?
They just got rid of the side gig. Yeah. That wasn't
so despite what you advised for them, they're just like this. We're just gonna eliminate this.
No, just get rid of it. So
they put themselves in an extreme disadvantage, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, because we're worse off than the previous year. But because they had still had it last year now, so this year is going to be different. Even though they had stopped that mid-year last year, we were still able to kind of recoup some of the loss there. Okay. But this year will be different because they absolutely don't have that side gig. So that I took that return from $10,000 owed down to $2,000. Now it's still owed, but it was much better than the previous year. Right. You cut down 80% of their debt. And she's legit, y'all. This is not fraud. This is not, Pookie and them that's doing your taxes. Okay, she's the real deal. By the way, that's another thing. People need to really confirm, if that person is a professional that's doing their taxes. and you can actually look them up on the IRS.gov website to confirm if that person is a PTIN certified professional.
Okay.
So,
because how many times have you heard of people getting their stuff like they work with someone that's not legitimate? Have you all heard stories like that? That they will file their taxes with someone and they either will like steal their identity. I've heard a lot of crazy stuff.
I've heard of people having their identity stolen. It long drawn out situation with one person, but I've never gotten on a client that had initially had that happen to them.
Right.
But what I have heard of is, you know, when it's time for an audit, you know, someone's going back over their documents or whatever, they have no clue what was done with their return. They have to seek out their return, try to go through their paperwork, figure out whether or not they even received the forms.
Okay.
Go to the IRS to get a transcript to try and confirm what was done.
That is ridiculous.
The thing is that when they go for their audit, they're looking like, okay, well, this is what it is, and oh, so and so did my return. Okay, well, it shows there's only two things that show up on your return. It says self-prepared or paid preparer. So the paid preparer actually has to sign your return.
Right.
Now, someone who it does not have a PTIN, they're not able to sign that return. So they're not obligated like you are. Now, see, we're not as obligated as you, but we're still tied into you if there's something wrong. You know, if we didn't do a due diligence check or something, and you say you claimed earned income credit or something like that, and we get fined as well. But for somebody that doesn't sign a return, it shows as though you self-prepared, and even though you can show a receipt, you might find a receipt.
Oh my gosh.
You might find a receipt and say, yeah, I had
like
so and so do
this. Right.
And they'll say, okay, we understand, because this happens all the time. But this here shows that you did it.
And you owe. Or
whatever
consequence.
checks and balances that they go through, if they disallow any of your deductions.
It's terrible that people would even do something like that, though. For what? You don't even know these people.
But a lot of people sometimes just do it for their family. They're like, oh yeah, I do taxes. I just do it for my family, whatever. Even at that, they can't sign a return. And if anything's wrong with it, you're the only one that's responsible. The taxpayer is always the main person responsible for the return. Doesn't matter who did it. However, you can also have that tax preparer on the hook if they, if there was an error or an omission done on their part. That's why we also have E&O insurance. So you want to double check and make sure that your tax preparer had that, just to cover.
You all
because when you get ready to go after them, you want to be able to collect.
Right.
That's crazy. No, I mean, it really is. I hear stuff time and time again. Like, I mean, my daytime thing, I manage an office space. And I hear so many horror stories, especially around tax time. I'm like, you all need to get someone official. You can't just go or I mean, just even. So when you file taxes and everything, can your preparer like take your return on their behalf and then disperse it to you?
That's not supposed to happen at all.
Y'all
And if it is happening, it's someone who is not registered. Because they're not.
I've heard
only because they're not able to sign the return, or they're trying to figure out a way where they can collect their fees outside of you. Collect the fee and then get it to you. That's why we have bank product. So as long as you have the bank product on there, that's why you're due to get a return. A refund. And then the preparer will take the fees out of that. But that goes to the bank. The bank gives you your check, and they give the preparer the check.
Wow. I feel like a lot of people have been misled, and I think that it's so important to have this conversation because, W-2s are getting cut. So I know you know. I'm going to be right there. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I can't wait.
But, I thank you for sharing all of that with us. I want to know what are some things, because you've done so much within just your two businesses that you have now, and you said you do travel too. How did you know?
No.
Okay. That's taking a nap right now.
I usually refer outside for travel. I just do the groups.
Because I was going to come to you. I think
so. If you're going to do a retreat, or if you're looking for a big group,
man, we needed you because our guest that we had last week, and you met Whitney. We were actually with several other couples. Were planning to do a trip, and we ran into somebody. It was not the greatest transaction.
Oh no.
they ended up like taking our money, like our deposit, and then the fee that you would pay to your travel agent, and kind of held
Wait.
it.
What do you mean the deposit and the fee?
So it was the deposit for right. Yeah, it was.
I mean, was it disclosed that was going to be a research fee?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no. Actually, no. That was to, I guess, like, retain her services. It's not supposed to research fee. But what ended up
What
happening
document
was,
did you sign for that? Okay.
needless to say, when our money was supposed to go over to the resort that we were going to be staying at in July, and we're just like, hey, can we get a receipt? Can we get a receipt? And she ended up informing us that, I guess the terms had changed and all this other stuff. So yeah, it was $25 that we ended up losing in the whole thing. She gave the money back. She's like, I'm not doing anything. She like went off on us. Whitney, I don't know if you're listening in with us. Wow. Go ahead and chime in so you can let Erica know a little bit about what was going on. But people are really, what I don't like, and we talked about it last week, was people that don't do business honestly.
Yeah.
We discussed a situation that happened where we had a vendor that didn't show up, and he's quite frankly been a little bit of a terror to one of our clients through the event sector. And it's like, you can't do bad business.
Right.
You have to be knowledgeable about what's going on, and things happen in business. You know this. I'm sure that you do. You have to always keep the client first. So I hate when I hear it's like, as much as we want the client to be great, you too have to offer great services as well. But I want to know what's next for you.
Oh wow.
I know you got something cooking. So talk to us.
I'm actually still digging through a couple of things, wanting to expand on the tech side.
Okay.
So but that's going to be my main thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know that you're going to be successful in it.
Yeah.
Now, do you like, because I got to ask you this, do you like the fact that it's, I guess, with it being a tax season, is centered and it's a shorter time, or is it year long? Talk to me. I don't know, man. This is your domain.
Let me tell you, the clients that I almost had to bring their neck just recently.
Not now. It's October.
Yes. The extension deadline just finished.
On the 15th, didn't it?
Yeah. And, I'm one of those people, I'm like, okay, get everybody stuff together. Okay, let's see if we can get everybody in by August.
And they're like this, no, we're about to make your job hard.
Let's see if we can get everybody in by
Labor Day.
Yes, Labor Day. No. Okay. And then I send out email after email. I'm not doing anything after October 1st. I want to do vacation, want to spend time with the kids. The kids are actually out for fall break this week. They're in private school.
I was just about to ask you what
they're
affected by
no, they're in a private school. So
we saw them,
but they still had this week off, this whole week off.
Okay.
So we were supposed to go do stuff.
We needed that while I was in school.
Yeah, I want it now because they're the ones in school. I would have wanted it when I was in school.
Right. I'm like, can I be in school and have this week off? But you were working the entire time, so they literally worked you up until the deadline. If you're listening and you do go to tax strategies, October 1st is the cutoff. Because I think that you need that.
Yeah. Because even though I say there's a cutoff, it's because there's a cutoff for me getting the information. And then we do the follow up. Hey, you didn't get me this. Hey, you didn't get me that.
Right.
So, back and forth. But now it's done.
See, she took us out. Well, you know what? I want to know, because we have you here and that you've offered so much useful information. Is there any business tips, because we don't want to give them everything, but is there anything that you can tell business owners or just people with their own personal taxes? Is there any advice that you can give them in preparation for the upcoming year?
Oh, well, where do we start?
Number one.
I would just say the main thing is just be thinking about all of the expenses that you would have spent. Just, if you want to break it down, because people always think that this is some huge task, just do a monthly budget.
Right.
Do a monthly budget and think of everything that's on that list. Did you use it the majority of the year? Okay. So, yeah, you paid, say, your car insurance. That comes out of your, what is it, ACH? Okay, you already know the rough estimate amount. So you know what it is that you're looking for when you go back to your bank statement. Okay, 12 months. There we go.
Right.
Do the same thing with the cell phone bill. The same thing with the light bill. Same
And
thing with everything.
transportation for work.
Ooh, and parking.
Ma'am, do you know the Metro went up $225 for a monthly pass? $225. Oh no, it's not $2.25. I wish. It's $225. But I like that idea of like I keep my monthly expenses, so when I'm able to, when I do go and sit down, which I'll be sitting down with you, but when I'm able to sit down, I'm like, okay, this is everything that I've spent, and it all get paid. It's not outstanding, but I think that does help to keep that running roster of things.
And one of the things that I always talk about, because everyone misses the mileage. The mileage. Oh, I didn't keep track of that. Okay, well, we can take a 90-day period and estimate that 90-day period, and so we do an estimation for throughout the year. Now, to come up with that 90-day period, you have to think of, was I marketing during this time frame? What events did I go to and from? Depends on where you're coming from. If you have an actual office space or if you are home-based. Home-based, all of your miles are tracked. Office-based, it's the mileage that you use from the office. So if you're looking at that, just my thing is 365 days for the year, right?
Right.
What day don't you spend money? If you can name the day, that's the day that's not a tax deduction.
I spend money every day.
Okay.
I'm like, I spend money every day, Erica.
You have to now position yourself to say, I am the business. You're no longer Demetria. You're no longer, hey, I'm just me.
Media company.
Yeah, you are the business. And so with the mileage, if you're marketing everywhere, that's something that should be tracked. You have flyers, you talk to people, you meet with people, and the mileage is the biggest thing that people miss out on.
Ma'am, you gonna make me go back and tell you every single mile. I mean, like, I did 65 miles. Well, I mean, it's a lot. Like, I stay about an hour away from where I work. So I know for a fact, like, just as I'm listening to a lot of the things that you're saying and the tips that you're giving, I think that I've missed out on some stuff for some years. I think I want to go back for mine. I'm gonna come to my office and be like, look, I wrote it all down for you.
But if you keep a calendar and you mark off everything that's just like you're preparing in the future, it's not really hard to keep track of the mileage.
Exactly.
So you're going there, you're going to go get supplies or whichever. That all adds up. Just make sure you have who, what, when, where, why. The why is the most important because that determines whether or not it's a business expense.
Okay. Y'all listening?
Really quick, when, like with barbers and stuff, what is something that you find with those kind of own businesses?
So you obviously have supplies. I usually have sometimes people come to me and say, oh, I don't know what supplies were. I'm like, no, you had some supplies. You had to, right? And then, so are you a traveling barber or you just stay in the shop?
I do both.
Both? Okay. Yeah. So you got miles too. And then, so whatever supplies you're using, you want to make sure that you're keeping track of all the money that's coming in. Most of the time, say if you use a merchant account, a lot of people do Cash App and whatnot. I prefer merchant accounts that will issue a 1099 at the end of the year. So if you went over the 600 and then bam, there's your proof. Now, the state being a little bit more rigorous in their review, they want to see, okay, did you really make this money? Okay, now you said you made it. Now you've proven that you made it. Now, did you really have these expenses? So they're reviewing a lot more people's stuff, especially when the files are going through without, say, a 1099 or anything associated with it. So for the MLMers and whatnot, their goal is at least get that, that proof that you were working towards it. Get that.
And what about like if you buy tools from the flea market? Because they really don't give you a receipt. They just tell you, okay, it's $40. You give them $40, you go on about your day.
Like, goodbye, sir.
Right.
I don't know this man.
So if you could have a form of a receipt, like on hand, say that they don't have one, but that they're signing off, yes, you did to make this purchase or whatever. It's almost like you invoicing them. You can sort of proof. Okay. And then, of course, your calendar would match up with where you went and the mileage. And you have those three things.
And is that like the same with Amazon and stuff like that too?
Yeah, so you would have your receipt. It would show what item it was purchased. That's another thing, so like say if you went to, I'm not going to use that as an example.
What was you about to say? You were about to say something bad. I want to know now.
Sidebar. But you want to actually have a receipt that shows that it's itemized. Exactly what it is. Not that you went, especially like you're saying, you went to the flea market and you got a whole bunch of stuff and they just said, oh, this was $250. So it's $250 exchange. They don't care about that. They want to know what it was so that you can confirm what the use of it was for. For business purposes. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But that's all to have in the event of an audit. So I personally don't need that. I need to know that you have been thorough in your documentation and that you have those records to hold on to for 3 years.
Okay.
So that's not something that you would present to me. Maybe it's something that I would see if I was doing your bookkeeping, but not in hand. That's why you wouldn't come with a whole stack of stuff. You would come with your totals. Your full totals of, the expenses in each category. And then we break down each category because that's also something that's confusing.
Is it with barbers or whatever? Is it some things that we don't know that we should keep tabs on?
For the most part, I just find people not having all of their supplies listed.
Okay.
Oh, I know I bought this or whatever. This, say $600 worth doesn't seem like it was enough for certain people. Like say for, if you did a lot of shampoo hair for the hair salon, no, that doesn't really sound like enough for the year. Were you doing this off and on? Is this more so hobby? And then a name for your business. Do you have a tax ID? Things like that. If you made yourself official and a license. So there's certain industries that they want to confirm whether or not you're licensed. I mean, if you've shown proof of that, having that license.
All right.
Well, I thank you for dropping all of these gems tonight. I mean, I'm excited to work with you because I know that you have sat on panels and that you have all like the information you're sharing with us. You shared it, of course, with everyone. I think that it's so important the work that you're doing. So I'm excited. I thank you for coming on the show. We finally got a chance to sit down with everybody. Now, before you get ready to leave us, can you let my listeners know where they can find you? Like, how can they support what you got going on?
Yes, so on Facebook, I'm listed as Erica Nicole, but the business on Facebook is facebook.com/yourtaxstrategy. The website is yourtaxstrategy.info. And what else?
You get Thrive Conversation.
Oh, yes.
We can't forget about the other one.
Yes, so for Thrive Communications, that is thrivevirtualcenter.com.
Okay. Well, you all make sure, if you just tuning in, you need to catch this replay because, you legitimately gave so much useful information. I know I'm going to go back and use some of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you been tracking your mileage?
I don't track no mileage.
Okay.
Why would you even ask me?
I'm just saying.
No, but I got a GPS thing that'll tell me how many miles it was and I can keep up with my calendar.
Yes.
Because she said the calendar. Thank you.
So we're coming correct. So when I make my appointment, because as soon as that W-2 is in my mailbox, I'm going to be like, hey, girl. Hey, Erica. But no, I thank you for joining us. And, I hope that you have enjoyed your time here with the girls and the guy. We'll be right back. We're going to play a little bit of Amio.
This is my song.
Home. So you all can shake it in your seats.
Yeah.
Do your thing. I want to take some pictures with you before you go. I'm going to put a minute in here. I'm sorry if it's like dragging. Okay. Do you have another camera you put sex on?
No, but I can
Nico got some. He got his phone. He's gonna take some pictures.
Yeah, this a party, Harley, this for everybody. Yeah, we getting on the party, man.
Will you take a picture of all three?
And this shit make it so I can stay tomorrow. Yeah, nigga, I'm on, ain't no time to be hard. Yeah, this a party, Harley, this for everybody.
Can we open the door?
Hardy, this for everybody. Yeah, we getting on the party, yeah, them retarded. And if she make it so, I can stay tomorrow. Yeah, nigga, I'm on, ain't no time to be hard, yeah. This a party, Hardy, this for everybody. Yeah, we getting on the party, yeah, them retarded. And if she make it so, I can stay tomorrow. Yeah, nigga, I'm on, ain't no time to be hard, yeah. Go insane, blow some gameplay, better cake. What will the girl show us how you make it shake? Hey, come hold it down if you try to make play.
Okay.
Got you, I say all I can, man. I know it's what you want, make it so you can't stay. I give you what you need, I open you the new kind. Tell it what we on, might fuck up the whole thing. Get us the drink, I'll do this another day. Shake that ass me, shake that ass me. Throw it back to me.
I got new friends, guys. I met Pure Water at Purple Palooza. I didn't even know that was him.
Throw it back, throw it back. Make it clap, make it clap. I'm on, ain't no time to be on. Yeah, this a party, Hardy, this for everybody. Yeah, we getting on the party, yeah, them retarded. And if she make it so, I can stay tomorrow. The nigga I'm on, ain't no time to be on, yeah.
Do you want it now?
No, it's up to you. Yo, monkey, yo, circus.
That was Amio with Home. I like that song.
I do too. And I like the people that sing the song. I'm yours, my boy. I love giving him a hard time. And Pure Water is dope. Like, he's super dope. I really enjoy him at Purple Palooza.
We can't wait to meet you all. I mean, well, at least me.
Yeah.
I know.
You were out of the country.
That sounded real hateration and holleration in the dancer. So Erica decided she's staying with us for a little while.
It's about to be lit.
She's gonna be staying with us. We're about to go into our segment. Hated it. I'm not starting this week because I started last week.
Well, let's give old man Father Time a chance.
Please.
What is your first hated it topic?
Your daddy ain't around.
What? You tried it.
That's not nice.
My daddy is an older gentleman, but that's not the point.
I don't like that.
But,
I don't like it.
My hated it this week was how people came at LeBron about the China and Hong Kong issue.
I'm so tired.
I was
talking about him.
The thing is, like, you know, LeBron, he can't speak for everybody.
Well, what did he say?
His thing was really, he was misinformed. The guy that made the tweet, he was like, well, he was misinformed. That's it, that's all. I don't agree with it, but he was misinformed.
All he said was that he was misinformed?
Yeah. But I think...
Y'all gonna kill me. Y'all know I don't be knowing.
I feel like, what's the pretenses to this?
Can you give us a little bit of backstory?
Yeah, what?
Hong Kong,
tell the story.
I guess they're under like a dictatorship.
Yeah.
China and Hong Kong are like sworn enemies, I guess you can say. Like North Korea and South Korea.
Yeah.
The GM for the Rockets, Daryl Morey, made a tweet saying he stands with Hong Kong. Yeah. Just out of nowhere.
Sir, Mr.
He made a tweet.
What?
And later China was like, you gotta take that down. What are you doing?
Wow.
And like within hours, they started taking down all NBA posters in China. You know, NBA outside of the United States,
How?
a lot of these NBA
like
players make their money in China.
Right.
You know, if not all their money, because you know China's bigger than us.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
that's horrible.
It was a problem. And later, I think maybe like 2 hours later, he took the tweet down. And
but it was already too late at that point.
Exactly. And I don't know why people don't think that. Like, they screenshot everything. Okay. It was going to be up. Somebody was going to repost it.
Right.
And they asked the players that were in China for, you know, it's preseason basketball.
Okay.
So a lot of them were kind of like, well, you know, we don't know. It's kind of an out of nowhere situation. So when they asked LeBron, he was like, well, he was misinformed, I guess. What do you want me to say? I don't know.
He didn't
So
understand.
all he said was that's all he said back to that, and they're mad at him for saying that.
Yeah, because they
Well, they
say
get on him about everything.
Well,
though.
Yeah, they
That's
hate
what
on
I'm
him
saying.
all the
they're
time.
kind of saying, he was like, well, he was misinformed, but we all have to be aware of our actions because it starts to affect people's livelihoods. Like I say, outside of the United States, a lot of NBA players, that's probably where they make the most of their money.
Exactly. So you gotta, it's like you gotta be respectful.
Exactly. And my thing with the problem, it's like, why do we put our athletes kind of in a woke? You got to be woke.
On a pedestal.
Yeah, and it's like,
like they can't say
do
things.
anything wrong.
Yeah,
Can't have
at the end of the day, he's just a dude that dribbles a basketball for millions of dollars. That's not really his fight. Like, because what's going on in Hong Kong ain't affecting us. And I think it's always been a problem with the United States always getting involved in something that ain't got nothing to do with us.
Honey, that is a whole.
I'm just saying
in general.
We can't say that what's going on there doesn't affect us because that comes off differently than I know what you mean, but I'm saying it just comes off a little different to those who it is affecting. So I wouldn't per se say that. However, it's Twitter.
Right.
Like,
but I mean, you gotta. We're living in a time right now where our president,
But that's exactly where I'm going.
Right.
He's going crazy and saying everything wrong.
To do that.
And you're more concerned with this man who does stuff for his community and does try to invoke change regularly. Like, I just don't understand. This man opened a school for kids and gave them free uniforms. You don't have to do that. And it's affordable. He did not have to do that.
But you gotta understand, they always gonna come for the ones that's actually doing right. You're not gonna come for somebody that's not doing anything.
I was over it when they was mad at him for hyping up his son's basketball, summer basketball games.
I think one of the bigger problems, the GM is the GM for the Houston Rockets, which is like one of China's, biggest team. A lot of people in China like Houston because, have you ever heard the name Yao Ming?
Yeah.
He was from China. He was, when he got drafted by Houston and played for Houston.
Right.
Houston
She looks so lost.
pretty much.
I know who it is now. It was the really tall.
He made Shaq.
Okay.
He was really tall. And he's from China, you said?
Yeah.
He was really tall and he's from China. And
That's
everybody was like super, what's happening here? Yeah.
This is somebody from Space Jam. What's going on?
We thought he was a monster. We did think he was a monster. For real.
And, and recently China has said, like, look, y'all gotta fire dude. Yeah.
They told them that they had to fire him?
China told the NBA, look, y'all gotta
Like if y'all want y'all posters back up,
you gotta figure this out.
y'all want these shirts that we gonna make for y'all.
So they gotta fire who is the guy again? The what of the CEO? He's the
general manager.
The general manager
for the Houston Rockets.
I mean, fire him. Go get another one. The general manager.
Well, this is the
They
thing.
said where somebody losing their job.
You have to understand that when you are a public figure, it is certain things that you either don't say anything about,
Well, not even that.
or you keep it neutral.
We live in the U.S., so within living in the U.S., there is freedom of speech. However,
It's not
once you go across those lines and you're talking about another country, you do have to be mindful of that. There's some things that you just can't say.
Our president is pissing them off. Our athletes are starting to piss them off. Like, everybody just calm down. Everybody relax. I don't want no problems with China. I don't want no problems with Hong Kong.
Because they tried to set it up with us not too long ago.
They be sending it up for no reason.
Please don't do this.
No, thank you.
We're afraid. The Blue Media Company, we rock with everybody.
Right. We don't have a problem with y'all. Contrary to what Agent Orange believes.
Now, you here with us. You gotta give us
that part.
You gotta give us a head of it too.
Yes, you. What's your hated it for the week?
I'm gonna wait because I wasn't prepared for that.
Ma'am, look. Okay.
Okay, well, I can go.
Go ahead.
So,
Look. Go ahead.
this is what I hated. The officer that killed the young lady that was playing video games at her house with her nephew, this fool resigned before he could get fired. Now, the reason why I have an issue with this, because let me unpack it. Because it's more than one situation in this same context. The reason why I have an issue with this is because that means to me, as a logical thinking person, that you think that you're only going to get a few years, you're going to get out, and you're going to go somewhere else and get a job as law enforcement. That is literally the same thing that Van Dyke just did. He had not been fired after murdering and trying to cover up the murder of Laquan McDonald. There is so much light on it, but nobody is really like, wait a minute, what you mean you resigned and you've been in jail all this time and the trial was going on for so long and they proved that you tried to cover it up? I'm confused. How is it that it take you this long to say you fired, but y'all run around here chasing Justice Smollett and his little coins? Right, Juicy Smoothie. And trying to get his little coins, and y'all know that boy ain't on Empire no more.
Right. That was the coin. Y'all
that
took
was
the
the
bag.
coin. Y'all took the bag. It's on y'all. Like, come on, you mad because he put the wool over your eyes? You been pulling the wool over my eyes all this time? Let me be quiet, child, because you know I'm a public figure, baby.
Right. They'll be coming for you. They'll be like this. Off with our head.
Right.
Like,
and it's not to say that every law enforcement person is terrible, but it is a truth in one bad apple spoils the bunch, especially when the bunch try to cover up the rotten apple. Come on now. It's just too much.
But we do see it, and I think that the frustrating thing with it is seeing how it takes so long for them to be prosecuted. Like, they have they have body cams, they have witnesses. I mean, we talked about it last week.
They can live and say, hey, he shot me. It was for no reason. And they still take a long time.
I'll never forget, I watched a video. It had to have been earlier this year. And there was a boy, I think that he had some developmental disabilities, and a black guy was sitting out on the street with him. And they're like, the police officer, they shot him. They shot that man. He lived, but it's just like, I mean, devastating. And then I hate when they do the wrongdoings, and then you hear stuff like, I think there was one family that was rewarded $1 for the death of their loved one. And I'm going to find it. When I find that story, I will post it. It'll be an older one, but I'm going to mention that we talked about it on the show. When I read that, I was heartbroken. I'm just like, are you $1?
But meanwhile, no amount of money can bring them back. But $1 is an insult. Because you thought that was funny.
I'd rather you had said nothing.
Absolutely.
Just not giving anything. But $1 for you to say that that's what it's worth after your law enforcement officer killed that person.
Right.
Wrongfully, might we add.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is, it's unfortunate because when you see people of other races, when they get into trouble and they do these horrendous things. Earlier this year when I went to a women's retreat, we visited the church that Dylan Roof shot up. He shot that church up. They were in there having Bible study, and he
welcomed him. They welcomed him
and
wanted to give him the word.
He literally worshipped with them before he took all of them out. And and I was there, and I think about the fact, didn't they take him to Burger King afterwards?
He
so you hungry after you done did
in a bulletproof vest. They brought him out of his home in a bulletproof vest, like we have ever been known to retaliate. We are not. I'm not gonna get into my belief.
The thing about it is that the thing about it is that realistically, the world should be so afraid if people of color do actually mobilize and do something about the fact. And I mean, instead of just, hey, we can cut off the traffic in Lakeshore Drive. Woo, we've made some people mad, but really making the impact when it counts, going out and voting, doing the things that needs to be done so that these people that are in power, that are given these really little bitty sentences and slaps on the hands for lives being taken, if we actually all got together and really revolutionized in this day and age, we will be a force to be reckoned with. But they not ready though. I'll take it to a lighter note. I have a problem with my hated it for the week is while I'm at work. If you see me doing 1 to 3 tasks already simultaneously, please don't come and throw another task on my plate. My plate is full. I don't have time for it.
Concurred.
So as you all know, I mean, it's no secret, I manage a corporate office space, and I will literally be checking someone in to speak with a client. I'm on the phone while I'm responding to a text message. Not a text message, an email. And I'll have somebody that receives the receiver is up to my ear and they're just like, D, 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 D. I'm just like, it's really, really urgent.
Is there a fire in your office?
Are you okay? Is someone trying to hurt you or harm you?
But then why would you call my name? Because it's not much I can do.
They call my name so much when I get off work, I just be like this. I don't want to hear anything. See no evil, hear no evil. They literally do me like that. I mean, well, this is the thing. Aren't you a mom too? You all probably experienced it a lot as far as with your child. Like they'll probably see you doing like you cooking dinner and you trying to like help with homework and everything, and they just like this. But you're now gonna watch me jump off the couch. I've seen it. I've seen Nugget do it. She's just like, Mommy.
My baby has a song. Mommy, mommy, mommy.
Wow.
Like she literally does that. And mind you, nothing will be going on. I could be driving, minding my business, living my best life. And if the music is down too low and she can't sing to the music,
she's like this. I got a song for you.
I need you to turn around and just look at me so I can say hi. She's one and she's cute. I don't care.
Oh.
She's cute. She's cute and she got all her little teeth and they so pretty. She just, I just love the little nugget. But, however, that does not change the fact that when she drops her pacifier and I'm trying to cool her food off and she's screaming and pulling at the bottom of my long nightgown, I'm getting annoyed.
A long nightgown.
Yes, girl, I'm a mom. I look like a mom in the crib. You know?
All right, Dolores.
Okay. Let me tell you something. But she had that one thing that got bills paid in that long nightgown.
Bye.
So,
Okay, Erica. So you're here with us for our hated and segment. Yeah, you could have kept that.
Why y'all hating?
I don't think
I'll
we're ready
be
for that.
Dolores. I'll be Dolores.
She was cutting people's feet off.
She had a good life. Who was you talking about? Are you talking about the lady from Misery? You called me the lady from Misery? That wow.
With the long nightgown. I just remember
I was talking about Dolores that was married to the old man that be asking her what a remote is.
Girl, I be in the movies confused. Erica, what's your hated it for this
wow.
week? Hey, that was from like the 80s. 90s. Y'all really gonna do me like
I can't believe you did me like that. I'm her.
She wasn't aware of who you was talking about.
I did not know that.
Wasn't that the same movie?
No, it was not. Dolores, where's the remote? It's a commercial for people, older people.
Well, that was Kathy Bates.
That was Kathy Bates.
Hey, she a G.
She was crazy.
She a G too.
I'm not cutting.
She didn't think about it though. She had that long thing.
I was just talking about the long nightgown. Yo, why y'all trying to make this a bad thing?
No,
T, I would never come at you like that. T sexy, y'all.
Change the man to bed.
Let Erica go with her hated it. Y'all need to move on.
What do I hate?
Talk about dwelling on things that you shouldn't. That's my hated it. That's my second one.
Yeah. That's what
Oh, is that your hated it? Is that your hated it?
Erica, continue. We're moving on past this. I'll join you as we move on from this foolishness.
So now we the foolishness, but I got called Kathy Bates, and I'm kidnapping fools and knocking their feet out.
No, your name is Long Nightgown.
Wow. First of all, it's a summer dress that I fried chicken in and can't never wear no more.
Is that the one that I... Let Erica, what's your hated it?
Look.
Tell me what your hated
I
is.
still haven't figured it out.
You know what it is. Something to irritate.
Well, you can kind of mention on the voting aspect, right? Mm-hmm. So, and without naming names, but there are woke, conscious people who feel like, voting,
you shouldn't vote.
You shouldn't have to, don't worry about Democrat or Republican or anything, you know, pick up and move and go somewhere else. That does not help the people that are still here that can't just pick up. You don't have money like that to just pick up and leave.
Right.
And then for them to have national platforms, YouTube channels, and not naming names, but
let me tell you, because I'm like, I follow them, so let me tell you, who are you talking about?
It's just that disturbs me when I see that, you know, they get together, that I have a huge following, and just say, oh, well, you know, it doesn't matter. I remember when the recent election, oh, I was going to vote for Hillary anyway. Oh, you know, Donald Trump, this, da, da, da. You know, we just need to band together. And yeah, the community getting together, working. Right. But that also includes voting. Because not everybody can just pick up and leave and go to.
Yeah.
You know.
Everybody ain't trying to go back to Africa. Let's go ahead and just say it, because everybody's just like, hey, we trying to go back. I think that the motherland is great.
Speak for yourself, honey. I'm trying to figure out how to get.
I'm trying to go.
You could build a Fortune 500 company there in 2 years.
There's a lot of places that you could do a lot of
but
those
not
things.
everyone
has
that ability to do
That's
so.
true.
So for people who even want to stay here and then they just don't want to vote, think about the other people and how that's going to affect them.
But when
well.
Thanksgiving comes, they gonna still eat.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a whole nother issue.
I'm sorry, ladies, but you guys just actually brought up my latest blog for Tia Chanel Speaks. Is too woke a thing? It is definitely on my Facebook, both pages, and it's on the Blueprint.
Because she forgot to share it on there, so I had her covered. I had to put it on there.
That was amazing. I appreciate you, but I definitely unpacked that idea, as not necessarily specifically on voting, but like, you're so mad, but you gang banging over turkey. Relax.
Yeah.
Because I was one of them, though. I was 100% one of them. Because you're in a state of anger. When you first have that spiritual awakening, you are in a state of anger 90% of the time. Like, oh, I know that's racist. I saw it. Mm-hmm. And you want everybody around you to understand and be on it too. The same thing with vegans and vegetarians and stuff like that. It's like, girl, just bring your own sides and come sit down and enjoy your family. Because when you was a kid, you had a good time on Thanksgiving. Come on.
I just feel like, for me, I'm like, hey, you know what? With Columbus Day, I just used to be happy that we were out. We know he didn't discover it. We know that there was a whole civilization of people. I shared a meme. Y'all know how Trey Songz be like, is Mr. Steal Your Girl? The meme said, is Mr. Steal Your Land? I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Guess what I'm going to do on Thanksgiving? Go and be with my family and have a good time and eat turkey and all that other stuff. And I don't care if you judge me or not, because at the end of the day, it's like, when you know, this is the thing, when you have true knowledge and you know what's going on, you don't always have to flaunt it and have to be like, yeah, you need to do it too. No, you allow people to come to their own awakening at their own time. In their own time. I just don't try to force things on
I agree, but everybody has a reaction, a different reaction to that.
But they shouldn't try to shame other people.
And I totally agree. That's why I gave y'all the guide in my blog. It's woke a thing. Tia Chanel Speaks on WordPress.com.
Man, it's on the site too. WPMediaCo.com.
So absolutely,
y'all better go.
You should definitely look at it, comment, share, like, dislike. I don't care. I kind of just want to know what y'all think.
Well, I think that this is a good hater discussion, personally.
I do too. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's time for Tee Wit Tha Tea.
Tee Wit Tha Tea is not currently ready.
I don't know if I'm ready.
I think we should play a song. Because I got to cool the tea off just a tad bit, because it is a little pipe.
It is.
It's just a little pipe.
Well, we can listen to a little Van Gogh by YBC the Nerd, because y'all like that.
I do like that song. You're right. I like that song.
You ready for it? We can start your seat out here. Just watch this.
Ain't that the way the song goes? 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 And I'll lay back, my CA's on my band goes. Ain't that the way the song goes?
Look, that's not, look, she did.
Ain't that the way the song goes? what you choose. I'm on stage rocking, I'm sweating. Laying lost like a baby roll. That smooth ride for a heavy load. We eating good like a plate of gold. My team on the we still spitting them dope rhymes.
Right.
Every time you was talking shit while I paid dues. You bitches scared for you faking truth. You lagged out and I'm still around. I'm in the house and I'm looking down. Nerd Nation, I let it test the was unpaid. We say what you know about late nights with that Xbox, that gears or war. Then drawing and I'm in for war. My feet up and I'm laid back. My seeds and my band goes. Ain't that the way the song goes? Ain't that the way the song goes? Ain't that the way the song goes?
So I call you tomorrow.
Ain't that the way the song goes? Ain't that the way the song goes? My feet up and I'm laid back. My seeds and my band goes. Ain't that the way the song goes? 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 I went to sleep and I had a dream. We conversated on smoke screen. I lost love like a lost dream, but I will achieve by any means. I'm influenced by recollections. I'm so exposed, no protection. I look ahead and I see perfection. I move swift with no detection. Far sight, that's foresight. Super nerd and I'm super sight. I collect dreams that I upload. Deep thought for that undertone. Hard work, I'm so hands-on. Mad ill, precise moves. We don't abide by the same rules. You copping whips and I'm nine regions. Tesla rack, action region. Super villain, don't test the legion. It's all destruction, no rhyme or reason. You have no idea what you unleashing. My feet up and I'm laid back. My CX on my Van goes. Ain't that the way the song goes? 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 My feet up and I'm laid back. My CX on my Van goes. Ain't that the way the song goes? 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 Ain't that the way the song goes?
What a difference a day makes, you know what I'm saying? So, last year around this time, I had maybe negative $49 on my account.
We gotta be the cool kids.
So I checked my account.
I'll see you later.
I got a comma, another zero, another comma, another zero. You know what I'm saying? So let's toast to my success. And all I'm gonna do moving forward.
Wow.
On the champagne campaign, get money and it won't change. I done made it out the streets, man. Eating caviar, gold chains. On the champagne campaign.
They wasn't ready to eat. They tried it, but they wasn't ready.
On the champagne campaign, get money and it won't change. I done made it out the streets, man. Eating caviar, gold chains. On the champagne campaign, get money and it won't change.
I think the tea that cooled off. What you think?
Well, child, it is a good old throwback Thursday.
Throw it back, girl. Throw it back.
So I definitely give credit where credit is due.
Who we giving credit to today?
Lil' Kim.
She been looking good lately.
Okay, that's not what I was talking about.
Okay. Y'all not finna keep on doing Lil' Kim.
Listen, I love Lil' Kim as a rapper. I think that she is dope. I definitely had a different impression of what her personality may be like than what it actually seems like it may be, because I started watching their the reality show. Me and my mom. Yeah, and some of the situations on that I was like, I don't know why I'm watching this. Other times I was like, I kind of get it. I like all of them. That's why I'm watching it.
Even Chili?
Okay, probably not her. But not that I don't like her. It's just I don't want to be her friend. I want to be Lil' Kim's friend, though. I want to be Pretty Lee's friend. You know, I want to be pretty much everybody else's friend. Chili a little too slow for my taste. Moving forward, so Lil' Kim did an interview, which I think was with Ebro. I could be wrong, but the guy in the video looked like Ebro to me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna call him Ebro.
We're gonna call him Ebro, possibly.
And they basically was asking her what she thinks about the Beehive being basically Beyonce's. And instead of like throwing shade or, you know, trying to be what some other rappers would like her to be. She was like, I mean, it's not that I have a problem with it. She was like, when I was popping and everything, I had fans that would come to my show and they came up with the name Beehive. But I was the queen, B.I., you know the rest.
Okay.
Beyonce, and she said, and I looked up 10, 20 years later, and the Beehive belonged to Beyonce. Well, she has the right to call them the Beehive because her name is Beyonce. I'm still the Queen Bee, and she is still the Queen Bee. We just two different
Queen Bees.
Queen Bees.
Okay.
Basically, she kept it so cute and moved right along. So I definitely had to give her credit for that.
Okay.
In other news, Kiki Wyatt is now pregnant with her 10th child.
Okay. Surprise, surprise.
With her third husband.
I'm not mad.
Listen, if she like it, I love it. But I did it once. I don't need to repeat.
This is the thing, you know, y'all got to remember back in the day, people were making such a big deal out of it. Back in the day, women used to have, 10, 15 kids,
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
she's a singer. Your voice goes down one octave every time you give birth, vaginally.
Have you heard evidence that her voice went down?
I'm not saying that her voice went down,
I'm
but
like, she sounds pretty good.
She sounds amazing, but does she get the recognition and the money that you think that she deserves?
She wasn't getting it when she first had only little kids. Right?
She had several kids at that time, is what I'm trying to tell you, and she was married to somebody that was beating her butt regularly. She got out of that relationship.
The one that she stabbed, right?
Yes. She got out of that relationship and ended up in another relationship with a very holier kind of guy.
We thought until he was out in the streets.
He was out there living his best life and everything. And then their child got sick, and now she got this other guy, which I'm hoping that it works out for her because I think everybody. Okay. So while we're still throwing it back, I gotta tell y'all, I posted about Cuba Gooding Jr. not too long ago. I actually broke that story on the afternoon kickback. Shout out to She Bananas and DS, the surgeon healer.
Y'all don't see her, but she in here. Y'all hear, but she in here.
First of her name. I broke this story about this girl claiming that Cuba sexually assaulted her in the club.
Yeah.
And I remember I was kind of skeptical about it. I was like, I don't know. Like, it's Cuba Gooding Jr. He's not black, he's Cuba. That's what I was thinking. Wrong, guys. I was wrong. It was 14 people that have come out since her. Yes, child. 14 people. And one of the ladies, the lady that he grabbed at the bar, he grabbed her arm, and that's all we saw in the surveillance camera. But what she's saying is that she went to the bathroom and he waited for her to come out and stuck his hand in her shirt and massaged her bare breasts. And she pushed him out. Now here's my thing. I'm trying to figure out how. Okay, so what did you have on? Because that has nothing to do with it. But how did that happen? So you got into and then you massaged it. So how did you even reach the breast before bow? Your nose ain't bloody. I don't understand. Is nobody fighting back these days?
Because I know you've been in the club when a dude, he
kind of run past my booty and I push him down.
I had a guy just come up and just cut my ass. Yeah. I was just like,
oh, did you?
I was like, oh, that's what we on, bruh?
Yeah, like, this is really strong.
Well, no, that was after, because I got a real quick hand.
Yeah.
My legs don't move that fast, but my arms, they A1. Get your hands off me. But I'm like, that's what we on. I'm like, you just gonna come up and just, you cupped my whole cheek at this point.
Exactly.
They always like the left one. I don't know what that's.
You know what? That's probably the fastest one they can reach. But it's crazy, and the allegations continue because another young lady comes out and says, "Yeah, we were working together, and he basically told me he wants me to." This is explicit. Please put your children to bed.
Clean it up. Don't be saying.
No, it's as clean as it could be.
And Pootie and Tootie.
It's as clean as it could be. It's just terrible.
What did he say?
Come sit on my face and pee in my mouth. That's what he asked. So I guess.
That was a way to clean it up. But we're not judging. I'm not mad at you at all.
Yeah, pussy.
You know what?
Sis, I'm not even mad.
You know what? All right. Anyway, So y'all know I love to give updates. And I was telling y'all about how Nicole Murphy was out there.
Girl, how homework and all.
I know, right? So I told y'all that, you know, she was messing with Lila Rashawn, or she was caught kissing Lila Rashawn's husband, Antoine Fuqua, or whatever. And
sound fugazi. His name sounds
fugazi. I don't trust
like
him. I just don't trust nobody with a regular, average African American name in the front, and then you got some French at the end. Some ain't adding up to me. You're gonna have to explain some things.
Would you come on?
You just
leave that man name alone.
It's some things that you gotta make me understand, because I believe you're a liar. I think you were born to be a liar. But we're going to move it past it.
Okay.
Anyway, so I told y'all that she got caught with that. And then I told you guys that Lisa Ray had basically came out.
Yes, she did.
Now, disclaimer, it was not Nicole that Lisa Ray chased out of the house. It was Roxy from 106 and Park. So, anyway, the Brat had validated what Lisa Ray had said and was like, no, it's true, she was messing with her husband. He the congressman, the sovereign, or the king or something of Turks and Caicos. I'm not sure. He do something in the government. He's a high power. He like a prince or something, because we was like, oh, she a bat. You know, that's what we was calling her when she got married. So
she had the best bun that I had ever seen in my life. Period.
She did.
That was the best. Did. Girl, I was like, do I want to do a bun? I'm like, nah, I'm going to do a sew-in. But, you know, when I saw
it was nice. Her bun was everything.
That was the biggest bun I had ever seen in my life.
It was nice. It was nice. And it was so neat. Ugh. Anyway, so.
Can I get my thrill?
You know you want some more, girl. So come on. Okay, no, for real, guys. Nicole went on Wendy Williams, and I told y'all about that as well, about how she was kind of like, okay, I see how y'all could take it this way, but that is not the case, whatever. She didn't confirm or deny anything. Look. But what she did say was that she did not break up Lisa Ray's marriage. That is a play on words. So Lisa Ray waited till she was calm.
Because she is OG.
Called the Ricky Smiley show this morning, y'all. And was like, I want her to say it to my face. Because she want to play on words.
The Blueprint Media Company would like to set that meetup up. Lisa Ray, we already know you from here. And we gonna all wear white.
I'm here for it. And I look cute in white, so I'm definitely here for it.
She ain't gonna show up, though. She ain't gonna say it to your face, sis.
She definitely not.
She saw how you did old girl on the Players Club.
Period.
She don't want none of them problems.
Period. Speaking of the Players Club, I don't know why this made me think about JT.
JT from
City Girls. JT out of jail, y'all. She got out of jail last week. JT. And I was gonna break this last week, but I didn't have time to listen to her song, so I could say anything.
So he called it Lifesaver.
Right. So less than 48 hours after she got out of jail, she made a track. It's called JT First Day Out.
Why everybody trying to make songs on their first day out of jail?
I don't know.
Don't she want to go to Wingstop or something? What that mean? The hell?
I don't understand.
That's right.
I have no.
Everybody, if you think about it, everybody done came up.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
I feel like you're gonna tell us something that's gonna lead us real into this. What would you do? Because
this is very. Well, I saw. I heard the song. And I thought it was going to be along the lines of some of my, city girl songs I like, period.
Chicky tweet, chicky tweet.
Yeah, swiping cars down. Yeah. Well, I don't know what she was talking about. For a long time, I was just like, she is talking a lot. No, she was talking. Oh. But it was like a conversation with herself. I don't know what you're talking about.
Girl, I was in jail combing my hair.
Literally. I went from khakis and white shirts to wearing Coach gym shoes. Quote me. She said it. But she got to talking about her relationships with the women in jail. And I've been told that your relationships in jail are like really strong. So maybe that's why she made the record. I want to leave y'all with something positive. Queen Latifah.
Girl.
Well, I mean, look, the song sucked. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Maybe she need Young Miami on the track too.
And Young Miami was holding it down, like, you know.
But that's exactly what she said. My B Miami was holding it down. Y'all got a lot of rumors about me getting pregnant by the COs. Is you crazy? I would never. But I'm like, well, would you? That's not city girl-ish.
City girl-ish might do that.
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. If I was in jail for a long time and that's the only way I was going to get it. I seen Orange is the New Black. I know it's a janitor closet over there.
And they making the bet. They, like, for real. Like, you finna bring me a half dark from Caribbean Dirt?
Wow.
That has a smell, G. No. No,
You
he
trying to get caught
cannot.
up.
You trying to
Girl,
get out here.
I mean, like, I need the DM. The
No,
chicken.
see, you tripping. No, because everything you want got a smell to it.
So
Why you
No.
didn't bring me my hair? Girl, no, this ain't.
On the positive side of things, Queen Latifah has been named as one of 7 honorees for the W.E.B. Du Bois Medal at Harvard University for her contributions to the culture.
She's made a lot of.
She has made a lot of contributions.
It's most recent
to-
on Star. No, I'm just joking.
No,
she did.
but even before
She's
then,
amazing on there.
let me just keep one thing all the way 100 with y'all. Me seeing Khadijah run her own magazine is the reason why I ever thought that I wanted to be in media. I used to want my own magazine for a long time when I thought print was the way to go. I'm like, oh, I would love that. I love getting everybody's business and stuff, and that's all that's in magazines. I love it. I could do it. She made me feel like it was a tangible thing. She showed that it was hardship in me. That's not something that you see often.
No, you don't.
You don't see them talk about how they struggle to get everything off the floor. And she has Scooty Pooty, who is now Black Whiteman. And he fine. Even as an older gentleman.
Absolutely.
He is so fine. But he looked like his breath might stink a little bit.
Tea, wrap up your tea. I'm done with you. I'm taking my tea bag out of my cup. I can't.
Listen.
Look like his breath might.
That's it. It's your girl Tia Chanel with the tea. You can definitely find me on all social media at Tee Wit Tha Tea. Or you can find my personal page as Tia Chanel on Facebook, Tia_2Chanel on Instagram.
You might not get access to the personal pages, so because she's exclusive.
You know, I have to do what I can do.
No. Y'all ready for the what would you do?
What would you do?
So in light, it's so crazy that this particular what would you do? So y'all know, I know y'all haven't heard about the pastor video that was going around on Facebook.
It was
okay. So this one has to center around with that. Take a listen.
Oh Lord.
I'm falling in love with the pastor. He's not famous, but he has a following for sure. He's young, unmarried, and extremely handsome. He looks like a mix between a young Denzel Washington, Trey Songz with a dash of August Alsina.
You a lie.
He doesn't use his good looks to charm people though. He's all about the work. Listen, he doesn't use his good looks to charm people. He's all about the word of God. He's very kind, humble, modest, and multi-gifted. I've been listening to him for some years, and I'm desiring to become his wife and have his children.
Girl.
I'm intimidated because of my past. I don't have the best past, unfortunately. We spent time at a convention this past weekend, and he was just the most genuine, kind, and patient man that I've ever been around. I'm secretly falling in love with this man, and I can't stop it. How should I go about making this happen without overstepping my boundaries?
Girl.
What would you do?
Girl. What would you do, Michi?
Well, this is the thing. Just because he is, naturally with him being a man of God, you are going to approach it a little bit differently than you would, the one that's going to come through and, do all that. I think that you would. So,
Go ahead.
No, the thing about it is, okay, if he is upholding himself in the manner that she's describing, and he's just like this all, and we know that he's single, I personally would get at him. I'm a little bit more of an aggressive female. Like, so if I see you, I want you, I'm not going to wait for you to holler at me if I know you're available. I'm just going to be like this, hey, here's my number, put it in your phone. That's how I get Anthony. Okay, goodbye. I did. He was a little bit like, I mean, you know Anthony.
Yeah.
I think that he would have hollered eventually, but I didn't want to wait on his time. I'm just like, put my number in your phone. That's it. So I would personally approach it in the same way, despite him being a man of God. Like, I'm just like this. These are my intentions. I think you're a really nice guy. You know, I heard through the grapevine you were single. What's good? You know, you're going to do it with a little bit of tact, because at the end of the day, especially if you attend the same church, you do want to be, you know, anytime you have to deal with somebody at a capacity, if it may or may not work out, you do want to tread lightly. But I would, you know, I mean, if you like them, put it out there. T, what you got to say? I feel like you always be opposed to everything on the What Would You Do?
I am not opposed to anything but this lie in here about Denzel Washington, Trey Songz, and August Alsina. No, it's not.
I wouldn't want all of them mixed together.
First of all, that's too many different looks in one person.
So it's like, is he old, young? Is he sickly? Like, what
is to it? And the crazy thing is, August Alsina is looking great now.
He is.
He looks good. But that's not the point.
He was looking. He
looked
like
sick. He was sick. He was very sick. Yes, he has an autoimmune.
Very ill.
It's something with his immune system. It's not like HIV or anything, but he was born with it. Girl, it's the size of a Febreze.
Would y'all do this after the show?
I'm mad. I'll tell you about it. So look, there, you know what I'm saying? Love you. Anyway, for me, I think that
what could you do to make it happen?
I think that if you just like try to pretend to be something that you're not, you're gonna be miserable. So be yourself. Whatever you do, be yourself. I also want you to get out of your head that you gotta hold him on this pedestal. Because he stands in front of people and basically regurgitates the things he read probably the night before.
Stop.
And learn. No, I'm not being funny. I know that they go to school and everything, but he is a public speaker. That's what a preacher does. They're public speakers that talk about God and they try to teach the word. That's it. That don't change him from being anything like another man.
Correct.
So if you're interested, hey, listen, we've been spending time together. What's to it?
What's good, Pastor?
Are we going to do something here? Is there something here?
Please don't record him like the other pastor that got recorded and outed today.
He was whole married. That man was whole married. He was foul.
And please make sure you check his credentials, because he might have a wife somewhere.
Yeah, if you go to the church now, if she go to the church, she would know that if he has a wife. Because, yeah, that would be like obvious. Even if she's sickly and can't come to church regularly, you would know it's a first lady, and he would wear his ring and stuff like that. I mean, you're worried about your past, so you need to work on you. I'm going to say this. Work on yourself before you even approach him. Because if you're holding him to this big, high standard, and you think that he is just so awesome, you're basically, from what I read, it feel like you think he better than you. Why would you want to be with somebody that you think is better than you? That is the spirit of jealousy. So let me ask you this. Are you paying attention in church, or are you only looking at how good he looks?
I think she's lusting in church.
Because I would assume, you know, that you want more than just that. You talking about having his kids and being his wife. I'm going to tell you, as a woman that has kids.
Did you say has kids?
Shut up! It's not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is, even if you're happy and loving and married, because you're still going to be a different woman when you come home from the hospital. So,
that's that transition I'm not ready for.
My suggestion is to work on you, work on getting yourself to a place where you realize that you are the prize.
And you can have anybody that you want.
And you can have anybody that you want. It doesn't matter. Trust me. I'm super single, but it is definitely by choice. I could go ahead and just dumb down my standards.
So, Nico, you gonna holler at the pastor of the church if it's a woman? What's good? What would you do if you was single?
I'm like, oh.
There are pastors that are women.
No, I thought you were saying, I'm like.
No, not the man, but I'm just saying.
I'm not
if you knew that there was a woman that was a pastor and she was in the pulpit and you knew that she was single, she had no attachments to anyone, what would you do as far as going after her?
I would approach her. You know, just approach her and be like, look.
For coffee.
But it's different with men, though. But y'all have to understand, it is a lot different with men as far as dating and stuff like that. A man, of course, I would expect my brother, my boy, who I know is a manly man, to go after a woman that he finds attractive, whether she is a preacher or not. But that's because I know him. Right. I know that he is confident in himself. I don't see. I mean, I'm saying
it is a little bit different.
It's different. It's different.
I'll be honest. Like, I think that when I did make my move on Anthony, I think it was very much so caught off guard because typically women wait for men. I've just always been a little bit different. I'm just like, that's a mountain I'm gonna climb. I'm going over there.
That is like maybe 6 shots into the party for me. I'm so sorry. Because I'm very indecisive.
Well, I wasn't lit now.
I know, but I'm saying, for me, it's like, I'm very indecisive. So I'm not even sure that I really like you. I just think you might be cute a little bit. And then when I come over there and I mess around, done gave you my phone number and you can't spell.
Wait, what?
Or you text all the time and call all the time.
And you do big letters and little letters.
Oh my goodness. Or you weird and trying to rush me into introducing you to family and stuff like that. It's too much. It's too much pressure. I need him to approach me.
Let me ask you this. What if you were her and he was, hitting you with the look? No sex before marriage, all that. Would you be?
Do you test drive cars before you buy them? Look, I understand.
But what if that's his boundary?
I think that she understands that, and maybe that's why it's kind of might be bringing up some insecurities with her because she sounds like to me she probably has had premarital sex before. No shade, but
and
whatever.
There's nothing, and that's not a horrible thing.
And you don't lust after nobody unless you know what you lusting after.
Right, he hit you with the look.
She said he was a kind and patient man. Y'all, look, we're gonna wrap this up because we still gotta get a side topic. But look, okay, I think that we gave some useful advice. Girl, go get your man. It don't if he is a man of God or whatever the case is, he already know you got a pass, girl, and he don't care about that. So go get your man.
I mean, were you a prostitute or something? Like, is it some pictures gonna come out of you? Is that the reason? It sounds like it's just something.
Maybe
like
she did a few dinos. We don't know.
It's okay if she did dinos, but you don't want. But true. But But you have to think about whether or not you want that to be a problem going forward. Because with him being a public figure, it's like, oh, I don't want pictures.
She said he had a following, but he wasn't.
Okay, but he's still a public
But the thing about it is, if you're going to go with him and getting to know him, be honest in that regard. And just be like, you know what, I have some chapters that I don't like to read out loud. I'll let somebody know that real quick because we all do. Everybody has chapters in their life that they don't want to read out loud. But if this is someone that you do want to have children with and you do seek marriage with him and that's something that he's open to, you have to share those things with him if there are things that can be detrimental in the long run. So, girl, go get your man, be honest, and stop playing yourself. But we about to play our featured artist of the week, Miss Alana DeVille.
Yeah.
We think that the young lady that wrote in for the What Would You Do, she needs to hear slugging because I think she needs to build her confidence up. Like, girl, you slugging even if you did used to do the dinos, okay? Nobody cares.
Obviously you slugging. You used to do the dinos. They was coming at you.
Live your best life, sis. This is Alana DeVille, our featured artist of the week.
You know I'm slugging. It's Alana D. Alright. I'm slugging, yeah, you know I'm slugging. Boss bitch, dope chick, yeah, you know I'm slugging, yeah, you know I'm slugging. Boss bitch, dope chick, yeah, you know I'm slugging, yeah, you know I'm slugging. Hey, yeah, you know I'm slugging, yeah, you know I'm slugging. Hey, yeah, you know I'm slugging. Knees make the tummy flatter, make the booty fatter. Body shape up that figure eight, making heads turn hourglass shape. Got no tummy with the booty shade. Walking around coke bottle shade. Couple of them be trying to wait. Now I'm singing to my reflection like mirror, mirror on the wall. Be slugging harder than them all. Your niggas wanna catch me out at the mall. They breaking their necks for me to call. Press like a stallion. BMG medallion. My shoe game Italian. Me and my girls, we wildin'. Bitch, we so reckless when we bounce through. Everything is VIP, promoters popping bottles through. Just when you thought you was the baddest in the building, someone blew in just a bit more appealing. I'm slugging, yeah, you know I'm slugging. Boss bitch, dope chick, yeah, you know I'm slugging, yeah, you know I'm slugging. eating cornbread and collard greens. Slim thick with my cute ass. Head turn next break every time I come past. Curse for days on my bad ass. I see you mean mugging with your mad ass. I'm a bad bitch with my own dough. It's like I'm walking on clouds in my own glow. Bitch, get your weight up. Salute, don't be a hater. Ain't shit changed. I always been about the paper. Walking around with a big old butt. Sit up, double D cups. Big old, thick old onion booty. Got a face and a body, I'm a fucking cutie. Bills paid and my weaves laid. I can steal your nigga, I can steal your bitch. Got you buying me new shit. Gave me you both on some pimp shit. No shots, just squats and spit-ups. Push up bras and tats and pin-ups. Your daddy buying me Ugg boots. Don't be mad at me, just give a boss a salute. I'm slugging, I'm slugging. Yeah, you know I'm slugging. Boss bitch, dope chick. Yeah, you know I'm slugging, I'm slugging, I'm slugging. Yeah, you know I'm slugging. Boss bitch, dope chick. Yeah, you know I'm slugging, I'm slugging, I'm slugging. Yeah, you know I'm slugging. Hey, yeah, you know I'm slugging, I'm slugging, I'm slugging. Yeah, you know I'm slugging. Hey, yeah, you know I'm slugging.
Ooh, Alana DeVille. First off, if y'all didn't know, I mean, if y'all know if y'all been following me and following the page, this song inspired Slugging Apparel. And if you use my promo code MzMetchi10, you can get 10% off your purchase. Because we know y'all like discounts.
Yes.
And we about to jump into our topic. This is one that T actually brought to the table, and I'm excited to chat about it. We know our time is coming to a close, so we'll keep it brief. However.
Absolutely. So why do we stay in relationships and friendships too long? Like when we already know the time is up for this situation. The season has changed. We are no longer needing to be all up under each other.
Because people like to be around things and be around people that are familiar. Even if it's toxic. People get used to it. Some people, stick in certain situations because they feel like they don't deserve better.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that, the person has done anything to you per se. It's just, it's not going anywhere. It's not conducive. You know how I rate relationships. Any relationship should benefit you financially, emotionally, physically, or socially.
Okay.
So if none of those needs are getting met, I can't talk to you about my problems, vent, or whatever. I'm not having relations with you,
right.
Or, whatever the case. You're not doing right by me.
Right.
There is you never put me up on an opportunity to make money, whether you're giving it to me, whether you're telling me about jobs, bettering me in any kind of way. All I'm doing is pouring and pouring and pouring, and nobody's pouring back into me. Why am I still in this situation?
I'll be honest. I know I have. It was something that I had spoke about on. We were talking a little bit about a different aspect of friendship before. So my problem that I have, as far as why I haven't been able to dismiss this particular person, who is, they friend. We'll use that word loosely. Sometimes like history and the fact that like they haven't per se done something that was so concrete, like it's so bad, it's so horrible. So I don't really have like an admissible reason to dismiss them from my life. But I just know that they don't support me. They don't support my efforts. Like when I bring up what it is that I'm doing, and my business, or, just try to talk about different things. Like this is the real thing of what I do is I get up, I go to work, I grind hard, I do stuff for my business. Every day is in me. I was on vacation, I was still doing stuff for my business. That's what's in me. So the fact that I know that it's like, you don't support me, you blocked some transactions and done some different things, but I'm not supposed to know. I'm in a little bit of a tricky situation. I would like to dismiss that particular thing so bad, but I'm just like, sometimes you have to watch how you exit certain situations too. So if I exit it right now because I'm just like this, I feel away without having anything concrete, it's a little bit difficult. So I think each situation is going to merit a different reason as to why you haven't closed out on that.
Can I give you just a tidbit about that?
Don't read me.
I'm not gonna read you, but this is what I want you to understand. When you put yourself in positions where somebody has not yet done something concrete to have you remove them from your life, it's coming.
I've distanced myself though to a point.
Listen though. When you feel that way, like, okay, if this person does this, this is gonna be enough. What you don't think about is the pain and the hurt that's gonna come after that thing is done. Because that's in the universe now. Mm-hmm. I'm just being realistic. That is now in the universe. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and keep this individual in my back pocket. They hit me up, I'll deal with them, but I ain't gonna really deal with them. That is an invitation to bring drama into your life, as from my experience.
Right.
It's an invitation to bring drama into your life.
I have faded to gray because it ain't fully black yet, but I really have fallen back from that because my whole thing is just like, and you know how hard we work. Yeah. T and I, like, when I tell you we have so many strategy calls throughout the week, besides just being friends and catching up. I mean, Nico, you know, you too, we really pour a lot of our time and our effort into what we do. So the biggest thing for me right now is like, if you don't support my business, it's just like, if you don't even give a damn to hear about what I have going on within the space of what I'm doing, I can't take you seriously.
Yeah. So,
you know, I feel what you're saying, and you are dropping the word, you dropping the tea on me, and I appreciate that because it's difficult. It's difficult. I mean, I know that, like I said, that's just my circumstance, that one situation, but I've definitely kept people in my life around before. Now, they've been dismissed since then, okay? She had to wisen up, but I definitely kept people around me where they weren't good for me. Mostly friends. Had to dismiss a couple dudes, too. Back in the day.
I totally understand and concur, but I'm just saying you be careful with that mind state. You haven't done anything yet, but I know that you're capable. Just be careful with that mindset because it happened to me. Like, specifically, that exact thing. It's like I have no reason to really just like remove myself, but I am not getting fed. There is nothing being served at the table. Ain't no love, ain't no hate, ain't no money, ain't no nothing. Why am I still at the table?
Right.
What is the purpose in me sitting here?
And see, you know, like, and that's why I love when I do talk to T though, because it's like because of the person who I am, I have allowed a lot of stuff, and I'm very thankful for when me and her became friends, because when I would talk to her sometimes about the things that frustrated me or things that have happened to me that have hurt me, she always reminded me, like, why are you don't have to deal with this. Like, this ain't like this conversation, this is not just something that's like brand new. She's just like this. Nope, you deserve better, and that person's a crappy person, and we're gonna recognize them for who they are, and we're gonna categorize them appropriately. So
treat people the way that they present themselves to you. That is like how I do everything. I treat you the way that you present yourself to me. You my friend? Cool. Until you don't be a friend.
Right.
Then I'm gonna treat you like you ain't a friend.
You a foe. Period.
I'm very calm until I'm not. That's where I leave it.
I know.
Why you looking like that? I am calm until I'm not.
The heck out of
right. He been trying me so much. I am calm until I'm not.
Sister, brother, ma'am, sir.
What? I would like to know what you think. What is it? Why did you side at me? Like in real life?
Because you're funny. That's why.
Good eye.
I hate it.
That's okay, because we finna gangbang on him in the park.
We're gonna beat Nico up as soon as this
we gonna, boy, we gonna gangbang.
I didn't know it was gangs at home, but whatever. Whatever. But I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of times you feel like they benefit you. Like, you know how sometimes people ain't good for you, but
yeah,
it's just something about them. It's like, I wouldn't have this, or this if it wasn't for.
But if you don't have that to say about the person,
right. Okay, let's break it down, because it is a difference between friendships and
associations.
It's a difference between friendships and romantic relationships. So let's just be honest. Every girl that kept a dude around that had good But you knew he wasn't a good guy. He didn't, you didn't feel like that he treated you as the virtuous woman that you were. So you just like this. I'm gonna keep him in my back pocket because I know that he gonna come through and we're gonna have a good time. And then he's gonna be a trash bag when he leaves because he's just not a nice person. Or the guy that gets with the girl when he just like this. Man, shorty always, I feel like she probably robbed me, but she got some good, whatever. Everybody had a story. I've talked to guys where they just like this, like, man, I was like, she can't cook, she don't clean, she don't do no other stuff, but she got some real. I'm like, hey, bro, whatever you want to do.
I ain't even talking about that, but my thing is the same thing that I just said. I treat you the way that you present yourself to me. So if that is a benefit for me, in my opinion, this is just me, because everybody have their own things about their body, and that's fine. But for me, if that is a benefit for me,
why would I get rid of it?
I don't want to talk to you. Why are we talking? This is what you came to do.
Right.
There's the door.
No, we ain't staying the night. Get out.
I don't want to talk about your day.
I don't care what happened to you at work today.
Are you thirsty? You need some fluids?
She got that Vegas and
you can get a peanut butter and jelly. you can get a peanut butter and jelly meat sandwiches off of people that are actually good people.
I'm not giving you no peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You gonna dog me when you leave.
But when
you're gonna be hungry.
The original topic is what makes you keep people around you that you probably need to get rid of in the first place. So if we break it down to the core things, let's be honest, there's always a lack of something that makes you keep somebody around. So it could be a lack of confidence. It could be a lack of attention. It could be a lack of resources such as shelter, food, toiletries. We don't know everybody's circumstances. But
I definitely agree.
But when I think about what is the motivation of why do we keep things around, like I know that I kept certain the people that I could, like friends and different things that I kept around me. When I think back at where I was at the time, I held on to a lot of friendships because I had just lost my mom. And I knew them. I had history with them. I had known them since the 6th grade. So I'm just like, man, I knew that they probably, we had some funky times with each other. Or they, we had some tiffies, as I like to call them. But they were familiar to me. And I was in a state of loss. I felt like I was losing people. So I kept them around far longer than what I should. They were toxic as hell. They should have been gone. But I didn't really have time to really, per se, focus on that because, I was within my own grief.
Yeah.
Right.
I had a lack of, happiness from, suffering such a great loss. So every time that I've kept somebody around, it was a lack of something. Yeah, before I was married, before I was with my, my husband or whatever the case is, somebody might have stayed around because it was just like there was a physical need.
Right.
That's it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm saying. It's a benefit.
It's a benefit. It's some type of benefit.
But my thing is, in most situations that I've encountered with talking to people and people telling me about situations with friends or boyfriends or whatever, there isn't much of a benefit. They're the person that always comes up with the ideas for coming up with money. They're the person that's always the listener to the venting. They're the independent person. They're the person that gives them some kind of entertainment because it can't always be physical. So they're the person that is the entertainment, basically.
Right.
So you're getting nothing and you're staying for nothing.
No, you're right. I mean, the thing, see, look.
Attention, I agree.
Though. I feel like we're going to have to break this up into 2 topics, though, because I think that it's very loaded.
I concur.
So we're going to have a continuation.
Continue.
So, we want to thank everyone for tuning in. And, of course, our special guest, Erica Lamb from Tax Strategy and Thrive Communications. If you are a single mom or you're looking to work from home, if you have a business and you're looking to decrease your tax liability, she's definitely going to be that person that you want to reach out to. We got to shout out Attorney Sierra Norris. Okay, we love her. And if you haven't already, make sure that you're following the Blueprint Media Company on Facebook. We're the BP Media Co. on Instagram, okay? And you can follow me. I'm your girl, MzMetchi, Miss Mechi Brown on Facebook and Miss Mechi on Instagram. That is MzMetchi. And T, let them know where they can find you.
I am Tia Chanel on Facebook. You can also follow Tee Wit Tha Tea on all social media outlets. That is Tee Wit W-I-T the THA T as in the tea that you drink.
Okay.
And on Instagram I am Tia_2Chanel.
Nico.
And
Nico.
I am Nico Fields on Facebook. Nico UPCB on Instagram. Come see me if you need a haircut, whatever.
The Beijings. Sewing.
All of it. All of it. Come see me. Come see me. I got you.
Okay.
I got you
You better show me. Okay.
Y'all funny.
Now, we've been talking about it the whole time, but this Saturday, the Melanated King Awards is going down, y'all, at the Atrium in Country Club Hills. Dr. Lauren, who we have pinned, if you've been tuning in with us on Facebook, we went ahead and pinned that comment so you can go and reach out to her directly for your ticket. So y'all don't miss the hottest event of the year. Gras.
Period.
So make sure you reach out to her. Go ahead and get those tickets. She has them available through what? Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all of that. You get your ticket, okay? And if you get paid tomorrow, at least put your ticket on reserve. Don't be out here bootlegging. We don't want to turn you away on Saturday.
Cause they will.
Cause we will. If your name not on the list, baby, you gotta go. You can see the highlights afterwards. But no, we thank you all for tuning in. Of course, shout out to Dr. Lauren and the Melanated Queen Productions. Next week, we have a really good show. So we have Chris No Thank You coming on. She's going to be our featured artist of the week, and we'll be interviewing her. She has a song called Lingo, y'all. Now, I've already heard it. Y'all get to hear it. Because I'm going to send it to y'all beforehand so y'all can be ready to dance and y'all share.
Cool.
But to close out, we're going to give y'all a little bit of Fast Bugs Yelling Gang. We know y'all ain't heard that in a minute. So,
yeah.
Y'all have a good one, and we will see you. And, y'all will hear from us next week. Period. You guys, first off, this lip color, man. No.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
No, I'm gonna keep it in